Coming up, we have the gladiator here, Fox News, Peter Doocy, coming in hot, going, you know what? She's not answering anybody's questions. She's acting dumb about everything. And he's had a certain approach of really just fighting back, coming in hard on Karine Jean-Pierre. And there's a lot of those Peter Doocy destroys Karine Jean-Pierre videos, which we've done here on the Bald Brad show. And she realized she can't compete with this guy and that he's going to sit there and craft questions in a way that's going to get a gotcha moment for her. Well, watch the way that he questions her here. It's him being condescending and asking really good questions, but just, it's so hard to describe his tone. You just really have to see the way he does this, folks. If you haven't already, hit that like and subscribe button. Please do so. It really does help the channel. Make sure you watch our videos all the way through without skipping ahead. Watch it till the end. It helps the algorithm send these videos out to new viewers who haven't seen our content or our channel. So your help and support would be greatly appreciated on that end. But watch the way Peter Doocy, he asks a litany of questions here on a range of different topics, but you could tell it gets under her skin a little bit with the way that he phrases it and the tone that he asks it in. Let's go ahead and watch it.
Okay. Thank you, Karine. First, does President Biden have confidence in Transportation Secretary Buttigieg?
Yes.
Why?
Because Secretary Buttigieg he respects the secretary and the work that he has been doing. You have seen the secretary on TV. You have probably spoken to him yourself, and they are doing everything that they can to make sure that the experience that Americans have is a good one. That's why they've held the airlines accountable. You've seen the secretary do that over and over again, and we understand. We understand what Americans have been going through these past couple of months. That's why the secretary has been very clear on making sure that they are held accountable, has put in processes in place to make sure that that occurs. And yes, the president has confidence in Secretary.
Folks, tell me that wasn't a BS answer. She said nothing. Well, he's been on TV before. Okay, like what does that have to do with anything? Well, he's held the airline companies accountable. Really? Okay, can you give me like a list of like other things he's done in the past 2 years as a transportation secretary other than being on TV and holding the airlines accountable over maybe like 2 events? Like what? She just rambled for like 30 seconds and gave us nothing. She gave us nothing. Should we expect anything more from this administration? I don't think so. I don't think so.
And then on these documents, how could anyone be that irresponsible? Isn't that what this president says about mishandling classified documents?
The president spoke to this personally. He spoke to this personally. He believes that classified documents and information should be taken seriously. He takes them seriously, and he was surprised to learn by any records had been. I disagree. Here's what happened. Once
then his Justice Department.
Well, let me explain to you the process. Here's what happened when his lawyers found out that the documents were there. They immediately turned them over to their archives.
But they were
But
there
they
in the first
immediately
place.
turned them over to the archives.
They did the right thing.
I'm not gonna go into specifics, but what I am reiterating to you is what you heard from the president yourself.
I'm not going to go into specifics, but you just saw like 3 or 4 reporters in the other segments of today's episode. If you haven't checked that out, go check it out. Literally talk about how you said that you were going to be transparent. You said you're going to be like the most transparent administration that's ever been. Transparent this, transparent that. Clear this, clear that. And then you're going to say, well, I'm not going to give you the specifics of it. All the while, this entire press briefing, you literally been saying that you knew that they're going to have these questions about this whole thing of him having classified documents when he wasn't supposed to be having them, especially after what you just said about Trump having classified documents. Are you kidding me? And you're not going to be specific and go, well, you got to talk to the council. I don't know. I'm not going to get ahead of the president here. He didn't know what was in the documents. The president doesn't know his ass from his freaking mouth. So, this whole thing of like, I'm not going to be specific. We're transparent, but we're not going to be transparent. It's so head spinning. It's ridiculous. And your friends that are Democrats are silent about it. Everybody's silent on the fact that this administration, this White House press secretary sucks at her job, and we never get any answers. And they know it. And that's why the press are pushing back here, folks. Just continue with Peter Doocy here, because I love the way he starts asking these questions, because he's fed up too.
Peter, which is how he saw the process and how he respects and truly respects and takes this very seriously. And when he knew and how surprised he was by it, and the actions that the right actions that the lawyers took. Again, this is under investigation, is under review by the Department of Justice, and we're going to let that process.
I love how she's making the reference of how surprised he was. The homie's surprised whenever he ties his shoes or he puts a shoe on the right foot. Okay, don't give me this whole thing of like, well, he was surprised by it. The dude's surprised the fact that he's still alive every day when he wakes up. So come on. It's silly. It's silly.
Let's continue.
How can President Biden be trusted moving forward with America's secrets?
Because his lawyers, his team did the right thing.
But he had a closet with
His
classified
lawyers
information in
did
it
the
that
right.
they found. How did it get there?
Again,
Did the
he
lawyers
did.
do
He
the
was
right thing?
surprised that the records were there. He spoke to this
That they were
personally.
there?
He was surprised that the records were there, and when
I'll let her finish, but you guys gotta love the way that he asked that question, right? How can he be entrusted with America's secrets? Right? Because this is the whole spiel that they were doing with Trump, right? This is the whole spiel of how they handled Trump. This is the whole spiel of how they handled that whole news outlet, that whole news story about it. And so now he's really kind of crafting it a way of like, well, this is what you guys were saying about him. This is what you're saying about people handling classified documents, that they should never be entrusted once again with the future of the presidency, the future of the holding of the office. You know, we shouldn't allow him to run again. So now he's spinning it and he's asking it in a condescending way to her. And she might be picking up on it here, because she was kind of smirking a little bit too. But damn, that was funny. And Peter did a great job there with that great question.
and his lawyers found out, and his team found out that they were there, they turned it over to the archives, and now it's being reviewed by the Department of Justice.
And just one more. Why didn't President Biden want to see what's really going on at the border?
He did see exactly what's going on at the border.
He didn't talk to any migrants, and he didn't go anywhere that people actually cross illegally. Why not?
But he went to the migrant center, which was a critical place to be when you think about the partners who are our partners who are helping support the migrants on the ground there. There happened to be no migrants at the facility at the time that he visited. Because
El Paso has been crushed. The shelters are full. There are overflow migrants sleeping in the streets, and then it's just a coincidence that suddenly the president shows up and.
Well, let me talk about what's going on in El Paso, right? El Paso did go down significantly prior to the president's visit by about 70%. And that's a good thing, Peter. That's a good thing that we've seen the numbers go down. And that is something that we should be saying, okay, that's a good job.
You guys, do you see the spinning manipulation here? Well, he sat there, went to the border. He visited a migrant center. And it just so happens, right? You heard her. It just so happens there was no migrants there. Really? Really? Texas and Arizona that have seen 250,000 illegal immigrants a month. You're telling me just happenstance, the guy showed up on the exact day, the exact hour. It just turns out nobody on the streets anymore. There wasn't thousands of people camped out. There wasn't thousands of illegals everywhere. No. You guys, you got to be kidding me. Nobody's that dumb. Everybody sees what's going on. That's why I'm telling you, they're gaslighting everybody. That's why gaslighting was Webster's dictionary #1 word last year, was gaslighting. It's because of this woman right here, lying to everybody about what actually took place. He was there for 3 hours. And it's not just Republicans that are pissed. Democrats are pissed too, because Democrats are dealing with this in Texas as well. You had the Border Patrol pissed as well because he wasn't willing to meet with leaders. There was literally congressmen and women in El Paso that wanted to meet with the president to help figure this out so they could speak up for their constituents, and they said they didn't have space. The White House said they didn't have space. A place in the desert, there's no space. Nope, can't fit them all. You guys, this is unbelievable. Like I said, this is the worst. This is the worst administration in terms of a White House press secretary speaking on behalf of the leader of the free world. I'm not just saying that because they're Democrat. If somebody did this was a Republican, I would say the exact same thing. I don't care who the hell you are. You're terrible at your job, and she sucks. And boy, oh boy, is she lying to everybody and manipulating and spinning this one big time.
It has helped ease pressure all across the community, but the president's visit had nothing to do with it. And so, look, again, he went to a migrant center. He went to one of the busiest port of entry, which is in El Paso. And so the president got to see. He went to the border. He got to see for himself, talking to. We've always been very clear that he was going to talk to the people on the ground who's working on the border, and that's what you saw. You saw him meet with the CBP. You saw him meet with partners on the ground, as I just stated, who deal with migrants and their families. And the president also is going to continue to call on Congress to take action. Look, the president has been doing the work. And if you think about the record funding, he has done more than any prior prior president to secure the border and build a safe, orderly, and humane immigration system. And that's what the president has been able to do. We've got 23,000 agents working to secure the border, and we'll soon be hiring 300 more. That's what the president has done here. And so, again, he went down there, he saw for himself, and I'll just leave it there.
Literally, Border Patrol came out and said that he actually didn't see anything. He didn't even go to the main parts of the border. They're actually the most impacted. And they cleared out all the illegal immigrants that were in the vicinity, in the area. He actually didn't meet any. He literally, with his own eyes, did not see any illegal immigrants. Let that sink in. A place that's been swarmed for a long time. He didn't see a single one. All the trash was picked up. They combed through the dirt. They were like sifting it, trying to find any needles or anything to make sure the president didn't step on one. I mean, you guys, the lying is just, it's so unbelievable. My question is that how does the press not just laugh? It is so laughable. I was laughing. Hell, if I wasn't doing this, I would still be laughing. But the fact that I have to talk and do commentary on it, I can't. It's a clown show. It is so funny to me that literally we're sitting here and it's like we're living in a reality TV show where you have this lady that gets paid $180,000 plus benefits to speak on behalf of the leader of the free world, to spin and manipulate and just straight up lie to the press. How are they not acting like us going, what? What? I would think it'd be freaking great for Peter Doocy to be like, you gotta be kidding, and just start laughing. Just hysterically laugh because it is such a joke and a clown show. If she's gonna treat it like a joke and not answer any of your questions, if she's not gonna be transparent and treat you guys with the dignity of respect and actually give you an honest answer every now and then, you should just laugh it off. Just start making fun of it. Ask stupid questions. Hey, when'd you get your hair done? Where'd you get that dress? I guarantee you she'll answer that one. But boy, oh boy, anything about politics or the president, man, they got the stuff on a freaking wrap, folks. There's a lid on this. They're not letting anything out. If they're doing this type of behavior for 2 years, and they haven't talked anything about his physical or mental cognition or him actually having a test to test his dementia or whatever's in place there going on up here, there's some weird, shady stuff going on behind the scenes with this administration. They all thought Trump was bad. Oh boy, if you just looked under the hood. I'm telling you, the deep state is so freaking swarmed into this one. It is mind-bending on how much is not being let out to the American people. Imagine what you are not being told. And people are going, that's a conspiracy theory. Look at what happened with Twitter. Look what happened with the FBI, the White House, everybody else working in conjunction with Twitter, not allowing information to be out. It was suppressed. So let me know what you think about all this in the comments below. I know you guys are as great as I am. You're frustrated. Some of you think it's funny as I do. It's such a gong show, and we got 2 years of this. We haven't even been around for 2 years on the Bald Brad Show. I believe it was February when we started the show 2 years ago. So we're coming up on an anniversary here. We've been dealing with this since day one. I hope you enjoyed that clip from the Bald Brad Show. If you did, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date on all our future content.